Imagine a rainy day in London, 18th century. The streets are bustling despite the relentless drizzle. Horses splash through mud puddles, merchants shout their trade, and dock workers carry goods along narrow alleys. Amidst this typical scene is a figure holding an umbrella. In today's world, this may not seem extraordinary, but back then, carrying a personal umbrella made you a target of ridicule and even hostility. Why? Because umbrellas were considered stuffy and downright unmanly by many in society. Yet somehow, this simple device sparked a quiet revolution that changed the way we live today. Meet Jonas Hanway, a London gentleman of peculiar fame. Born in 1712, Hanway was a world traveller and philanthropist. But his claim to fame? He was the first man in London bold enough to carry an umbrella in public on a regular basis. At the time, umbrellas were mainly imported from the East, and strangely enough, they were seen as effeminate. Men were expected to toughen out the rain and let their cloaks, often drenched and heavy, do the job. If a man carried an umbrella, scoffs and jeers might follow. Hanway wasn't deterred. Fed up with the constant chill of London rain, he took to the streets carrying his umbrella and quickly became a laughingstock. Passers-by hurled insults, some even threw objects. To add to this, stagecoach drivers, who earned fares offering Londoners protection from the elements, felt threatened. They viewed Hanway and his umbrella as bad for business, resulting in smear campaigns by coachmen. You may ask, why endure the ridicule? Hanway believed the umbrella was a practical, democratic tool, rain protection for everyone, not just the privileged wealthy who could afford to travel in covered coaches. He touted its affordability and civic merit, arguing that a society with more umbrellas would lead to healthier citizens, less illness, and better overall productivity. At this juncture, let's pause and think. Have you ever experienced resistance to change? Sometimes, introducing something new, even helpful, feels like rolling a boulder uphill. For Hanway, that resistance only made him more determined. He stood his ground, enduring ridicule day after day, rainstorm after rainstorm. Over years, he even adapted umbrella designs to make them sturdier and more useful in the windy London weather. Slowly but surely, the tide began to turn. By the time of his passing in 1786, Jonas Hanway had successfully championed a new vision of comfort and practicality. Umbrellas slowly became not just accepted, but admired, and even iconic. But its legacy didn't stop at just keeping people dry in the rain. Umbrellas paved the way for other items now considered mundane, like sunglasses, handbags, pocket combs, everyday tools that empower individuals in ways prior generations could only dream of. Each reflects our need for both function and symbolism, self-expression combined with utility. All of this because one man believed otherwise in the face of laughter and skepticism. So next time you pop up an umbrella to fend off the rain or scorching sun, think of Jonas Hanway and his quiet revolution. It's a small but profound reminder that everyday tools have histories just as intricate as the grand monuments of history. Sometimes, change doesn't roar in like a storm. It begins like a light drizzle, steady, resolute, and unstoppable. Now you know the story of the umbrella that sparked a revolution. What's an everyday object you think deserves its historical spotlight? Share your thoughts in the comments.